Okay, today we are talking about teaching children positive mindset and building positive mindset habits in your home. This is something that our family really started getting into a lot more at the beginning of this school year in the fall. And I've had a lot of people ask me about it. And so I just wanted to do a little video that shares some of our favorite resources. I'm really excited about this. I'd personally read a lot of these books and I knew a lot of these principles. I had done them years ago, just through some trainings that I was doing, but I had not kept doing them. This is a good reminder to me that this is something that it's like a muscle. You just need to keep doing it. And I notice I'm not perfect at doing it. And I have bad days, of course, but something that I have noticed is that when I'm doing this, my days are fantastic. And so I just want to encourage you, maybe just start with something that you think is pretty easy, something that your family can do, and then just go from there and then see the effects of it, because those days are really awesome. Okay, so on to some of my favorite things. I want to explain that when we started our mindset unit, we were already starting anatomy for our science studies in our homeschool. You do not need to do this as part of your anatomy unit. This is all the time. It's kind of like exercising. It's just something that you should just keep doing. But it did kind of lead into it really well. So the first thing we started with was just studying about the brain. And one of the reasons why I thought this was a really clever idea, how the resources that I found, I thought, oh, that was so smart, is because this isn't like lots of times we hear, like, if you're familiar with things in like positive mindset world, you hear things like failing forward and just topics like just catchphrases like that. And there really is some science to it, like just the way our brain works. And so I wanted them to know how our brain works and how those things are important. So this is from mindsetworks.com and it's Brainology. You can grow your intelligence. New research shows the brain can be developed like a muscle. And we just read this together. It goes over the different parts of the brain, the different parts of like the nerve cells and whatnot. And my kids did little Play-Doh models of the different parts of the brain. And that was a really fun thing to do. And then I will include a link to that for you. But then this was such a cute book. So Your Fantastic Elastic Brain. It kind of goes on the same way as that article did. And it's so cute. And it goes on, it talks about the different parts of your brain. And so it is getting into the science. And then it just talks about how when you make mistakes, that is helping your brain. You're helping your brain get stronger. So when they actually say you fail forward or mistakes are part of where you're growing, there is actually some science to, like, that is part of how your brain is understanding. And that's just a stepping stone. So that was neat for them to understand that some of these like catchphrases that we hear actually have some science behind them on how our brain works. And then this was another cute one. This is The Most Magnificent Thing. It was this cute story about this little girl who is trying to build something. And each time she builds something, there's something that's not right. She's like, well, this was great. And the rest of it was not great. And so she's walking along and she's just like leaving parts of it on the ground. And then she just kind of gives up. And then as she turns around and she's seeing this trail of all these things that she leaves, she realizes, oh, that was the perfect part for this. This is the perfect part for this. This did this. This did this. And all of those mistakes actually helped her build the perfect thing in the end. That was a cute story for that. Okay, so the other thing that we like to do are affirmations. Affirmations are just statements that remind you. Sometimes, how I explain this to my kids is sometimes we get into this thought habit where we make a mistake and we think, oh, I'm so stupid, or I'm not good at that, or oh, I'm so clumsy. And then those are the things we're repeating, and our brain just starts repeating those things. And so what if we treat ourselves like we are our best friends. Like if we wouldn't say that to our best friend, we shouldn't say it to ourselves because we should always have our backs, right? And so affirmations are just really like I can statements, or statements that just are very positive. And they can be things that you work towards. They can be things like I am becoming. You think about the person that you want to be and the attributes, and then you just say, I am those things. We have a couple of things that help with that. One, there's an app called the ThinkUp Positive Affirmation app. They have a thing on their site that has affirmations that they suggest for kids, and they actually have affirmations for adults too. So I had my kids all pick, maybe 5 or so that were, maybe it was like 3 to 5 that resonated with them. Ones that they're like, oh yeah, I relate to that. And then they record themselves saying it. And then as an extra thing is I recorded my own message to them about like the wonderful things I think about them. And then it's on their assignment list to listen to every day. So when they get up, one of the things that they check off is they listen to their affirmations. So every day they're listening to themselves telling them that they are very capable and they're smart and they are talented and they can do this. And then they also have a message from mom that says what I think about them. I've done my own that I listen to in the mornings, and then my husband actually did his own as well, and I added a message on for him. So I'll just show you what it looks like at the end. It kind of looks like that, and you play it. I put my ear pods in and I listen to it. So that's kind of a fun thing. It's not for everyone. Some of my older kids, they just weren't feeling it. And so I was like, try it for a week. And some of them, it's awesome and they do it, and some of them not. And that's fine. But this is a tool. And I think it's a good tool. Another thing that we do at group time with my little ones is you can get these positive, daily positive affirmation cards for kids. And here's an example. This one says, I am patient. I'm going to practice taking 3 deep breaths so I can do this the next time I get frustrated. And I just feel like if they're thinking that over and over, if these are things that they're saying to themselves, then when they get stuck on that math problem or a piano piece or whatever it is that they do that they're struggling with, I'm hoping that these are the things that are recalled when they are in those moments. Okay, so that was affirmations. And then the next thing I want to talk about is the Big Life Journal. I have these for my kids. This is one that is for teenagers. I have this actually for my middle schooler. My teenagers, probably, you can decide, but I would say it's maybe for younger teenagers. For my kids, it's different for everyone. But I use this one for my middle school child, and then they have ones for kids. And these are just things that we can do like during individual time. And then I have a lot of one-on-one mommy time with, and when I say a lot, like I'm just saying like we might just do 5 or 10 minutes at a time in it, but I'm having that time to kind of gauge where my children are and observe. And if you're not a homeschooler, like this can be for anyone. Maybe you do it at bedtime. Maybe it's a Sunday activity that you do. So that's some ideas for that. And the site comes with just a 4-week guide on growth mindset. And in here, you're going to see a little bit more about how the brain works, a little bit more about affirmations, more tools about how to switch like not yet statements, like I can't do this now, but I can't do this yet, but I will be, as I keep practicing. It also has some fun ideas for books that teach mind growth or a growth mindset, and also like some really fun movies where you can point these things out, or maybe it's just a treat that you do when you're done with a certain section. And then there's lots of stories that they're sharing with people who have had trials in their, like they had different challenges that they've had to overcome, or they were working on, scientists who have been working on things and they just kept trying and trying and trying, and then they had their breakthrough. Athletes. So this is really fun too. Okay, and so now a couple of our favorite books that we have read as a family together, mostly just me and my little ones, but they're so cute that I think even big kids would enjoy it along with younger kids. And my youngest is 8, so if that gives you an idea. But even my older kids, they think that these are cute stories. And if we're doing it all together as a family, that's something that everyone can enjoy. But this is called After the Fall. Super, super cute. It's about this little egg, and it's about the, Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, and he falls, and he's like, I'm not doing that again. That was a mess. And he's afraid of trying again because of the thing that happened the first time. And then it shows this story. I'm not going to give it away, but it shows how he overcame that. And there's kind of a surprise at the end that I thought it was just really cool because, anyway, I'm not going to spoil it. It's such a cute book. I highly recommend it. And then the energy bus for kids. So this goes through, and this is just a boy who gets on a school bus and he's just in a grumpy mood. And the bus driver gives them all these tips to change things, just to change his mindset and to build some positive energy, how to deal with bullies. So this was a really cute book as well. They have, there's an adult version of this book as well, and that is good. Another book that my kids have loved, and I'm not sure, I could not find it for this video. My kids loved it. Since we've already read it, we may have just given it away because we were calling through a lot of things. I'm surprised that I did, so I'm thinking I just didn't find it because we really did like it. But it is Sean Covey's The Habits of Happy Kids. I don't know if you've heard of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, families, teens, but they have habits of kids. And again, it's just habits for kids to keep them positive, and it's just choosing to be happy is really what it's about. Okay, the last thing I wanted to share is some books that I love and my husband love, and also my older high school and above kids have enjoyed, even middle school. My 7th grader is reading some of these and she loves them. Okay, so here's one, The Power of Habit. This goes along with how your brain works and how habits are made and how habits are broken and changed. Very interesting. I read this years ago and I loved it so much that I actually have all of my kids read it their freshman year in high school. This is just, I have a set of things that are all my freshmen read that are about like life skill kind of habits and study skill habits. And this for sure is one of them. And they enjoy it. It's a good book. It's very interesting. Atomic Habits. We love it. We're listening to it and reading it. Depends on who you talk to. Like I said before, the energy bus. This is the adult version of the kid version. And then the Habits of Highly Effective Teens. I actually have the one for families and for people. And those are good too. But I've had my teenagers read this and they like it. My 7th grader just finished reading it or is in the middle of reading it. And she's really liking it, or she liked it. I don't remember if she finished it. But she was in the middle of it maybe a week ago. And then another one is The Magic of Thinking Big. I think this is the first one that I read years ago, maybe 6 years ago. It's great. It's a classic in my mind. And then my son, because I was asking my children what were their favorite books, and my entrepreneurial son, he is a junior. He really likes Think and Grow Rich. And that is basically a book on how to utilize these tools of growth mindset in business to help you financially. I don't have that one to show because he lent that to my other son who's at college. Okay, so those are my favorite materials for teaching growth mindset to kids and just having a positive attitude. Even if you don't do all of them, just a little bit. Maybe just dabble in a couple of them and see the effects that it has in your kids and just in your home, and see how it goes. So anyway, have a fantastic day. Thanks.